Season 32, War 8, New Nation versus 4 Loki. They are currently number 1. We are currently number 3. And we want to beat them. We want to move up in the rankings. So we're taking this war very seriously. We have max boosts on. I have suicides on. Max tech boosts. And I'm using a Power Star 1. The goal for this fight is bait heavies. I don't want to parry him to let him build light energy, because I don't want him to use it in a special if he happens to hit me with one with the prowess and light and dark energy. He would degen me, and the vulnerable boost would not matter at that point. So I decided to use the Power Star 1, get into a special 2 quicker, and after I drop that special 2, it pushes me right to a special 3. Drop the special 3, and finish the fight here. Now, the next fight after this, I have a Penny Parker on Powersnack. I'm going to be taking that fight with Spider-Man 2099 and the Anti-Venom synergy. My alliance mate, Infamous, put a White Knight's pre-fight on this fight for me, and I'm going to use that if I have to parry heavy her so that she doesn't auto-block, because she can purify regular stun debuffs to auto-block when she has her Sync Shield active, but she can't purify White Mag's passive stuns. So I'm going to use that in case I get backed up into a corner and I need to give myself some space to get out of that corner and push her back to her side of the map. I'm also going to use it in case I need to just land a hit on her if she's not being passive, so that I can hit against her block to remove her Sync Shield. And it's actually very beneficial because Spider-Man, when he does hit her block, he doesn't remove a lot of her Sync Shield charges at a time. So it takes a while. And then when you finally do get an opening, it's a short amount of time that you can deal normal damage. Spider-Man 2099 is a newer champ for me to use. I used him a little bit earlier in the season at my old alliance, but it was very limited. So I don't have a whole lot of practice with him. I understand how he works. It's just a matter of getting used to working everything into a fight. And what I mean by that is pausing the debuffs when you have a chance to by dexing. Even though he can't get buffs, dodging backwards like that pauses the debuffs for 5 seconds, I believe. And that's something I need to work on getting better at, but this is a very safe fight with him. It's just a long fight. It pretty much makes it a normal Penny fight, and you don't really want to get auto blocked because she will power burn you, and there is a potential for her countering you if you let her auto block you. So I didn't want to try and remove her Spider Sense charges by letting her do that. When she's over 15 of them, she puts a power burn debuff on you, and it ticks you for damage. And I really wasn't concerned about that because I knew that I could win the health battle. And that's actually going to be where I get all my damage from in this fight, is that debuff. There it is right there. I think that's the 3rd time it's triggered on me. Normally somewhere about 9 to 10% each time. So I have my Wither up, I have Exhaustions up, have some Ruptures. I'm using that White Mag's pre-fight right there. I use it quite a bit to land a parry heavy when I get the opportunity, when she doesn't want to be passive and let me hit her block. And it still triggers the auto block on her side, but it doesn't actually auto block you. It just says that it does. So I get her down to 1% here, and originally I was going to bait this, and then I was like, nah, this heavy should finish her. So I wrap it up with that heavy just to get out of that fight. It was a 3-minute fight. Now, this Domino here does not have willpower on. We had someone scout for it earlier in the map. So the tactic is going to be stick to SP3s with Warlock, because I'm not going to be able to power drain her reliably. One of Warlock's abilities is when you hit into his block with projectiles or energy-based attacks, he has a power drain on those hits, and Domino has projectiles from her gunshots, but it's not consistent enough to be able to keep her power in check for this fight. So it's going to be regular 5-hit combos unless she's lucky, and then it's going to be parry 1-hit combos or just parry and back off, because her stun time is decreased when she's lucky. So you really only have time to get in 1 hit, if 1 hit. And she is going to special 3 me. It's coming up pretty soon. But again, I'm working to my special 3, and I'm fine with her hitting me with hers because we have 3 that we can tank. So she's going to drop this, and it's going to push me to my special 3. But at this point, I'm also going to be backed up into my corner because she threw hers. So rather than hold on to it, I decided to throw it to give myself some spacing and to power drain any additional power she got after hers from me having my armor buff. And I actually thought that it would control the right back at it, but it doesn't, because she hits my block there and she gets a bar of power, which is a lot of power. And so she's backing me up again, but I got myself some space. And right there, I parried. I swear I parried. But she removed the rest of my invulnerable boost. And now she's lucky, and she's backing me up. So this is getting a little sketchy. Then she goes lucky again. That's 2 luckies in a row. She's hitting my block. She has me backed into the corner. I see the lucky drops off. I take my opportunity to throw my special 2 and finish that fight, because I was definitely a little bit scared there. She was already past 2 bars of power. It was sketchy. My alliance mate Zarafa gives me a Mr. F Petrify pre-fight. For this, it's kinetic transference and aspect of evolution. So the goal here is going to be to use Spidey 2099's Wither and exhaustions from his heavy to reverse the kinetic power gain. Now, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to keep the power gain fully in check because of the aspect of evolution. I think if I could replay this fight again, I would stick to doing re-parries, letting him hit my block once and then parry after that to get 2 hits on the kinetic to reverse the power that much, because having it do just once wasn't enough to keep it in check and not let him go over a bar of power. But right here I'm turtling, and I've switched to that tactic now because he's over a bar of power and I really don't want to let him get to 2. And I don't want him to throw his special either. Goes for the heavy. Now my Wither is still on because I'm paying more attention to keeping my debuffs up. I throw a late heavy there and he resisted it, but luckily I get to my special 2 here and I finish it. He only went for 2 hits, and I don't think it would have been that big of a deal if he finished a 5-hit combo, but it definitely scared me when that happened. So now we have this Mojo on 47, I believe the note is. It's kinetic transference, same as the last one, but I believe it's more power gain from hits on block. So Spidey 2099 is going to keep his power in check a lot easier on this node than it did against Punisher. And I let my Wither drop off here. I do need to be better about that, but I wasn't too worried about it. I knew that he had the indestructible, but I wanted to get my Wither back on. And then I'm going to start paying more attention to pausing it from this point on during this fight, just to make sure that I have his power fully in check. And this time I wait for the indestructible to drop off because I have the Wither on, I have the exhaustions, I've paused them nicely, paying more attention to that. Drop my special 2, deals a good chunk of damage. I think he only throws 1 special in this fight because I'm keeping him in such good check power-wise. I have 2 Withers up, 5 exhaustions. I'm not worried about triggering his prompts. Now, I dropped my special 2 here. I probably shouldn't have. But he throws a special 1 after it into my block, and because I have all the debuffs on him, it just drains him down. And then the fight's over at that point. So, Zarafa gave me 2 Mr. F pre-fights for this Mangog, and Infamous gave me another White Mags pre-fight. I took this fight a couple wars ago. I think the first war that I was here. And it went a lot easier then than it does today. I'm assuming it's because mastery resets are free right now, so everybody's maximizing their masteries for defense. But I tried playing it pretty much the same way that I played the other one. I'm hitting his block when he has a wither on him to build my ruptures. And I'm trying to knock him down with heavies, not only to build my exhaustions, but also to keep the Mr. F pre-fights up. I'm waiting for the armor up from the global there. It doesn't trigger unstoppable. And I'm baiting this special. Come back in and punish it. Refresh the debuffs. I tried refreshing mine there. At some point I'm going to lose the Mr. F pre-fights, but I can see that he has a special. Like he's going to trigger his own unstoppable, so I wanted to save my special because that's the only way you can remove it, and the last thing I wanted to be doing was running away from him, waiting for his unstoppable to drop off because I didn't have a special. So I paid attention to both the global there and his own hated stacks. I think here, yeah, the Mr. F pre-fights drop off, but at this point, I feel pretty in control of this fight. So I have a wither on him. I only have one exhaustion, but that's okay. He's at 17%, I'm still at 95. I see that the global trigger's there. I'm pausing my debuffs. Give myself another exhaustion. Now, I don't know if my special would have finished it there, so I wanted to bait that one out first and give myself a chance to build more power, but at this point I know that this special 2 is going to end it, so I go for it and I finish it. This was a really intense war. We ended up going 150-0, and 4Loki went 150-4. Both sides really put up a hell of a show, and it was a really cool special war to be a part of. I was up till 3:30 a.m. just watching the war board. That's how intense it was, and we were all talking in chat. It was a really cool thing to be a part of. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.